One of the great things about Web 2.0 is related to a theory put forward by Chris Anderson called the long tail. And it explains why iTunes and Amazon.com are so successful in bringing what they bring to the marketplace. Because you have the big head, the top 40 tunes or blockbuster movies or bestsellers. But then there's a lot of niche ideas and products and services and tunes, and that's the long tail. And in this book he explains how the niche is really where the future is of music and art and culture and ideas and marketing, regional. Before the web, even Web 1, a small local business couldn't compete with multinational conglomerates, but now we can. The web's created an even playing space. And it's taken our unique, if we make left-handed widgets, obviously we have a small market. But now, thanks to the long tail, digital manufacturing and distribution through things like podcasts and online marketing, now we can reach out and spread our message to the billions of potential people, customers in the world. But it's also regional, right? That's why I started Radio Free Red Deer. I thought, well, think global, act local. We have lots of talent here in our own backyard, so I started shameless self-promotion, but this is what drove me to do it. Now we can promote, and I get messages from people all over the world, from Europe and down in the US, thanking me and the artists that I feature. It's not about me, it's about the music we feature. But that's what Web 2.0 is all about too. The digital area, the web, the part of it that some of the technical stuff allows us to spread our message wide and take part in that conversation. Sharing conversations, big part of Web 2.0. There's a culture in Web 2.0 that is different than the culture pre-Web 2.0. It's all about sharing, it's about honesty, it's about openness. Here's some technologies that support that Web 2.0, that conversation, that those communities, and allow us to talk to each other. They're tools, technologies, whatever you want to call them. Anybody here read blogs? Do you read blogs related to your business or personal, or for those you can't see in the back?
Both.
Both. Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody here have their own blog? Do you publish your own blog at all?
Well, I created a blog for a school project.
Oh, good for you. Tell us about it.
It was it was a popular education course I took at University of Calgary, and we facilitated a 2-day workshop. So I recorded everything that we did and posted pictures, and I'd actually never even, I don't even think I looked at a blog before that, but it was my role to record what we did for the 2 days, so that's how I chose to do it. So.
Oh, cool. And what was the response? Did you get a lot of readers or subscribers? Or?
I rarely ever look at it, but
okay.
I just did it as sort of something to learn something new about.
Good for you. Now, thanks for sharing that with us. That's a Web 2.0 thing, right? Sharing. The thing about a blog, for those of you not familiar with it, it's an online journal that is, I think it's the best way to describe it. It's more than just text. It's rich with links, audio, video. It's called rich internet media. Darn it, there's some geek speak again. Well, at least I'm catching myself. But if you go to a blog, there's links to all kinds of different things, different websites, related websites. You can embed it with audio, video, pictures. It's a great way to talk to people. The other great thing about blogs, I'm going to pick on blogs. I'm not going to go through each one of these individually because we don't have that much time. But blogs is an example of Web 2.0. Because at the end of a blog posting, a true pure blog posting, there's a comment field. Homer Simpson said, TV is great. It gives us so much and asks for so little in return. Well, Web 2.0, everybody has the opportunity to speak and to talk back. And at the end of a blog post, you can leave a comment, good, bad, or otherwise. There's some, we'd want to have a little bit of respect, but you don't have to necessarily agree. And if you have a blog and you're accepting comments, my advice is if you can't take the heat, don't have a blog. Because people won't always agree with you. But if you use it for business even, use that as an opportunity to find out what the marketplace is saying. Dell Computers, they had a thing called, referred to as Dell Hell, because their technical support was so bad, the products were going downhill. Well, they started to collect information from blogs and the Web 2.0 in order to find out what the marketplace was saying about them. Because if you don't know if it's broken, you don't know how to fix it. And if you want to be successful in business, I learned this in college, Business 101. If you want to be successful in business, find out what your customers want and give it to them. Now, how do you find out? Well, you ask them. You can use a blog for that and other Web 2.0 tools. Podcasting, we talked about. Content management systems. That's a new way of building a web page. Peter will talk some to that. RSS, I'll talk about RSS, real simple syndication. Sorry, I had to have some geek speak. What it is it's what really makes Web 2.0 work. There's all this world of information out there on the web, and we have to find a way to get it. In the old days, we'd have a bookmark. Maybe we'd go to that website, maybe we wouldn't. Tough to say. But with RSS, we subscribe to people's information, their blogs, their podcasts, whatever, and it comes to us. And we put it on a single page, say a portal or a mashup is a term, applies to some of it. A mashup is a whole bunch of data displayed in one application. It comes from a musical term. DJs play bits and pieces of different music, and they create a whole new song out of it. It's called mashup. But in any case, now with RSS and comments, we're able to take part in communities and conversations out on Web 2.0. Software as a service, SaaS. Shrink, I have to be careful what I say, because one of our colleagues here is a Microsoft guy. But Microsoft's getting the message. Shrink-wrap software, like Microsoft, is going to change drastically. And I'll talk about that when I talk about disruptive technologies. Now, Google Docs. Anybody here use Google Docs or heard of Google Docs? Yeah. It's on the web. It's in the cloud now. Because you can get it anywhere you want, anytime you want. And if your computer's broken, you can go to somebody else's. Go to Internet Cafe. So what do you want a Web 2.0 for business? I think the first and the biggest thing, just make sure my battery is good. Yep. The marketing, PR, branding, very, very, very big changes in that world. Advertising's taken a beating because of Web 2.0. And advertising online is important, and it's a very valuable thing. But what you have to keep in mind is that the community, the culture of the Web 2.0 community is different. There's a thing known as flogging. It's fake blogging. Walmart did it, Microsoft did it, and they took a beating over it. And what they did, they hired, let's say Walmart hired a PR hack to pretend to be an employee, and they fed him all kinds of information, and he talked about how great it was to work at Walmart. This is when they were going through some of their labor strife. And of course he was found out, and Walmart took a beating, and it's been a long time, and I don't think they've recovered from that. Microsoft got a beating. So openness, honesty. So if you're going to blog, keep that in mind. You don't have to give away secrets of your operation. Here's a CEO of a multinational corporation, Sun Microsystems. Jonathan Swartz is his name. He's the leader of the CEO bloggers. He talks about their vision of the companies. If any of you run your own company or you're in management, you know that that's a problem, sharing your vision, communicating those ideas. So he has a blog and he talks about what Sun Microsystems is going to do, and he gets feedback. And he's even acknowledged that some of the feedback he's gotten from his blog and Web 2.0 subscribers have helped him shape his vision to bring products and services to the workplace. And what CEO doesn't like to talk about the company, right? We all